You are come.
I said I would come.
But thou hast taken thy time. When thou didst flee, leaving me here, at the mercy of these sorcerers, what didst thou think would become of me? Didst thou e'en take time to think?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He speaketh to me.
What? Since when did I... You...
I did not lie to thee. I had no choice. I had to seize this chance to escape and find a way to fight back, lest we be enslaved here for all eternity. Eternity? Dost thou know how slow the hours pass when thou art the prey of 6 humans, consumed by their lust for power and vengeance? I know this as well as thee. Thou dost not. Thou knowest nothing. I too made use of the confusion. I riposted. I struck back at them, weakened them. But thou hast abandoned me to them. But now I am returned, and together we will crush them. Is't true? Thou art returned.
And you were eating out of my hand.
What the hell?
You think that I have forgotten that you didn't lift a finger to save my father?
You let that sorceress get away just as soon as you were no longer of any use to her. You have no control, no authority, no charisma.
You're just about as disagreeable as you were when you were alive.
You weren't even able to keep safe those few who begged you for help. How can you possibly believe you have what it takes to save all of Vertiel from the Ice Lords?
Captain.
You want to be the captain? You didn't even have the brains to make good decisions when you alone were concerned.
de
wouldst allow these humans to corrupt thee.
A dragon? You summoned a dragon?
Ha! One of the few they were able to corrupt, and I turned it against them. Blackstorm defeated it and imprisoned it here. It was trapped, like me.
So now you turned it against me.
It is thee who has turned against me, abandoning me here, left to pay the price for each and all of thy errors in thy stead, whilst I did all I could to help thee to return. And so it is, I am come to the end of my strength, an empty shell or taken with rot. I did not wish to harm thee, but I no longer am master of all that I do.
Is that why you killed my companions?
The visions? Blame rather thy human half, for that is who hath invoked them, with its fear and its regrets. Thy companions never traveled through the breach.
So it comes to this. You and me. It's time we ended this.
Ha! It is all I have awaited. Remove these accursed lances from me, and let the world heart become whole once more.
This is it. The world heart. You didn't think I would make it, but here I am. So did your books prepare you for this?
No books can prepare you for this vision, but they can help you to know what to do here. You stand at the crossroads of the world's destiny. And do you know what you must do?
No, I have absolutely no idea.
You must free Vertiel from the Ice Lords and break their link with the World Heart, but do not abandon us to the demon. If you let him return to his source, he will certainly regain his strength, but all who live will be destroyed. He will take revenge for what men have made him suffer. None will be spared. And you will die. And I want you to live.
We're here, Ragnarz. This is the World Heart.
The knight congratulates his friend on the forthcoming victory. They were able to keep true to their quest, though the price was great. And now only one test remains. Only one last choice so that all will be resolved. The life of the knight has been spared by his friend. Now it is the fate of the world that is at stake. The faithful friend will remember his duty. The Ice Lords must perish.
The World Heart. We made it.
Much blood was spilled to bring us here. Let us make sure it was not in vain. Now you are faced with a difficult choice. You have saved the soul of my prince, and thereby that of my entire people. It is possible to do the same for all of Vertiel, if you can get rid of the Ice Lords.
The flame will burn bright anew, and the necromancers will be the first into the fire.
If I remove these spears, the Ice Lords will lose their power. But what will happen to Vertiel?
Thy world is weary, all but extinguished. Nothing remains to be saved. It must be cleansed.
But inside me is all the power I need to regenerate my world.
At the cost of mine? Do not think it. Vertiel needs the world heart. Thou canst not sacrifice it thus.
There are still dragons, and this way the necromancers will be destroyed. The fire of the world heart is not completely out. It will burn bright again, in time.
But without us, I forbid thee to do this. I will not die for thee.
And so ends the tragic, though nonetheless heroic tale of Vulcan half-demon. I confess I may have romanticized some aspects of the story, though in my defense, I shall always have something of a soft spot for our dear Vulcan. By releasing the world heart's energy to the surface, he sacrificed himself in order to heal Vertiel and bring an end to the long winter. Ill-prepared for such a powerful energy surge, the Ice Lords were instantly reduced to cinders. I can tell you, no tears were shed at that funeral. Of course, it was only a few centuries before other would-be mages attempted to follow in their footsteps, though what wonderful centuries they were. With Captain Buffalo leading them, the Freeborn Blades legend grew, and they flourished for a time. Sadly, the legend of Buffalo's immortality proved less than accurate, and after 27 battle wounds and another 40 or so years, he eventually died in his bed, to the great sadness of the three charming young women who were sharing it with him at the time. Edwin's corpse was mutilated and burned by the command of King Relmar. Such a waste. I remember being quite disappointed at his decision, as I had hoped I might be able to inhabit her body. It had been an absolute age since I was last inside a woman. To no one's great surprise, Relmar proved to be a formidable monarch. Strong, just, and loved by all. He returned a sense of pride to the elves that the war had stolen from them. He often spoke of how much he missed his outlaw years while being forced to sit through long meetings and dealing with political wranglings. But he was greatly helped by the knowledge and wisdom he gleaned from Arundel's Soul Stone, and he went on to found his own dynasty. The Red Scribes... Oh, really? Don't get me started on those imbeciles. Nonetheless, it would be uncouth of me not to mention how heartbroken young Sybil was by Vulcan's death. Proud to have fought alongside such a courageous companion, the beautiful young scribe lifted her head high and transformed her grief into purpose. She quickly gained the respect of her peers and was elected chief scribe shortly afterwards, when Liestas died quite suddenly. Apparently, the fool succumbed after having imbibed a large quantity of a somewhat questionable nectar that he and his doctor had invented. And as for myself, well, my goodness, I fear that is an extremely long story, and you would quite literally die of boredom before I finished the telling of it. But you see, that's what I like so much about mortals. Their stories last just about the right amount of time. Give or take a few decades. And then they're done. And then they come around again. One thing is certain, I have all the time in the world. So who knows? I may get to tell you other tales. If you live long enough. Toodle-pip.
Flame will burn bright anew, and the necromancers will be the first into the fire.
We don't need to go that far. All we need is to remove these spears, and the necromancers will be left powerless.
As powerless as when they enslaved the world heart? No, it will not suffice. They must be annihilated.
I'll track them down. The dead walkers will be gone. The survivors will have a chance, and Vertiel will be rebuilt, little by little.
Little by little, it would take centuries, nay thousands of years for thy world to rebuild its energy. The world heart hath not been remade whole. Thou must permit me to rejoin with mine other half.
So that you can take over and burn Vertiel? No thanks. I am the most powerful being in the two worlds. I have got responsibilities.
Thou wouldst use me to reign over them, as did the necromancers. How long dost thou imagine that I shall allow thee to use me in this way?
I don't know, but you better get used to it. You were the one talking about centuries and thousands of years before our worlds can be rebuilt. And I plan on being right there to keep an eye on them. Meanwhile, do me a favor and let me enjoy this victory in silence. Do you mind?